Hey y'all, welcome back to Healing Gardens. My name is Kim and I'm so glad you're here to share this journey with me. We are getting into spring. So I've been doing this channel since June and we didn't have spring when I started my channel. So this is going to be all new content, ideas, tips and tricks for getting your garden going. And I hope that you come along and see what we're doing. I primarily grow a garden because I enjoy it, but I also like fresh food. And lastly, I am doing herbs, salts, herb blends and herb salts for market. And so I am growing an enormous amount of herbs this year in my tiny space. You will see my tiny space when I flip this camera around, and you will also see my tiny house in the background. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the end. All right, everybody, we're going to do a cleanup in the garden, tidy up, plant some things, and lay down some cardboard in the pathways. It helps suppress the weeds and gives the worms something to eat. This video was actually recorded on April 1st, so I am almost a month behind on posting it because of problems with my phone. So here we are. We're going to get this cardboard laid out. In the foreground, you can see onions, garlic chives, the peach tree. The beautiful yellow flowers are a cabbage that has gone to seed, and I am going to have cabbage seed forever when this thing ever gets done. It should be done soon, but I'm almost needing that container. So not sure how much longer I'm going to let it live. I have pots and planting things in the garden out of order. I am really trying to be more organized this year and keep all my watering cans together. But somehow they get left behind and then I stumble around trying to find them. Also in the foreground, you can see that hydrofiber. I have been using that for mulch, and that has been amazing. It is shredded pine. It does not alter the pH at all. It is very neutral, and it just provides a nice fluffy mulch for my plants to keep in the moisture and help suppress some of the weeds. Of course, we can't suppress all of the things here. Mostly, all I have problems with is grass and wild cucumbers. The wild cucumbers come up easily, but the grass has got roots that go for miles. So I really enjoyed this day. It is a warm, breezy day. So it wasn't too hot, probably only around 70. And I was able to get a lot of work done. I think I worked out there for probably 6 or 7 hours. And I got a lot done. And I even got some things planted, up-potted. It seems like when you start your own seed, you're just always in the mode of potting up, and which I don't mind, but I want to get these things grown and in the ground. That is my goal. So you see, I'm still laying out some cardboard. This one I'm putting under one of my pots that's trying to get some grass in it. And when you lay down cardboard, know that if you don't do at least 4 or 5 layers, the worms are going to chew through, and one layer of cardboard will disintegrate very quickly. So it's best to do 4 or 5 layers. of thick cardboard under your pots. And I learned my lesson when it just dawned on me, and then somebody told me, yeah, always drill your holes in the side of the pots, not the bottom, which totally makes sense to me now, and that's what I do now. Here we are gathering up a container. We're going to pot up the rosemary that I bought. I have one rosemary, but with making these herb blends, I keep running out of herbs, and I don't really want to have to buy them. So I'm planting up this rosemary in a pot. I haven't decided where I want to put it because I want it somewhere in a raised bed so it won't stay so wet. I've got a little bit of biotone and vermiculite that I'm putting in with the potting soil, and that will help keep it draining freely. Like I said, this is just temporary until I get an area in ground that I would like to have it. My yard is pretty small. You can see the neighbor's trailer is on the right. And then behind my house, which is in the background, there is about 20 feet that technically I use. And is about 50 feet to the left, which is the south side, that I use also. Well, maybe more than that. But right at the front of this video, that's basically my line of my area. So when you see things in videos like vehicles and different structures, chicken coops, fences, those are not mine. And so I appreciate being here. I love my little space. But most of the stuff around me doesn't belong to me. So just to kind of give you an idea. So I'm scrounging for soil right now because I ran out of Pro Mix and I have to pick some up. And so I'm just using pots that didn't germinate or they died for some reason. And we'll get enough soil here to get this rosemary planted up good. And now it's been a month later, I can tell you that rosemary is looking great. And I've already harvested once. I've cut probably 6 inches off of it for my herb blends. See how tall, you can see how big that rosemary is. I let it grow on for a little bit and then I cut it back. And I'm going to keep doing that and drying the rosemary. I make a really good rosemary dill lemon herb salt, and everybody loves it. It is my biggest seller at the market for sure. This last market I couldn't promote it at all because I only had 3 jars. So I had to be kind of quiet about how good it is. Anyway, I enjoy puttering in the garden, putting in a few things here and there, watering, weeding, checking on things, transplanting. I really don't know anything in the garden, and I've said this before, I don't know anything in the garden that bothers me except a garden hose that gets kinked up or hung up on something. So I prefer that it rains regularly so I don't have to water anything. I just think that is the perfect way to do things. Like I said, the right side of me is on the north side, and beyond that peach tree is my onion bed. My along that fence line there's some pots with herbs, and everything right now is doing so good that I'm absolutely amazed. And being in this garden close to the Lord, it just nearly brings me to tears sometimes how beautiful everything is and the abundance. You can see in this Greenstalk right now a little bit that it's just barely getting started, and literally 1 month later it has exploded. Almost every single pocket is overflowing with herbs and produce. I have been cutting greens and harvesting greens for the whole month and sharing with people. I put up over a gallon in the freezer so that I can can those up, and I've already cooked them down, so all I have to do is thaw them, heat them, and put them in jars and pressure can them. So there's some of that hydrofiber I'm using to put into this pot. Rosemary doesn't really like to be wet, but I just like to put it in there because it keeps the soil from splashing all over the plant. And you can see I'm very happy with this. These little plants make me happy. Usually when I transplant things, I try to keep them in the shade for a day or two. And I think that's what I did there, is I was setting it down between some pots where it'll get some shade in the evening. And then I'll move it to its permanent place, which will be full sun somewhere in this garden. I feel like my garden is pretty crammed full of stuff right now, but I just keep putting more in, and I just went to the spring fling last weekend and got 50 something more plants to get in the ground. So that's what I've been doing all day today. Right now I'm sitting in my garden doing this voiceover, and I hope the background noise isn't too awful. I do have peafowl at one of the neighbors, so I apologize if it's loud on occasion. So I'm planting in the Greenstalk, just popping in a couple things where something didn't make it or I haven't had an opportunity to plant yet. I am really enjoying this Greenstalk, and I would consider getting about 8 or 10 more if it was in my gardening budget, which it's not right now. But I will be looking to the future to get more of these Greenstalks, because when you fill them with good quality soil and you plant them up, you're just guaranteed success. I haven't really had to water mine because we have had a lot of rain recently. I don't have a rain gauge right now. All of mine broke over the winter because I forgot to pull them and put them in the storage shed. So they froze and with water in it and cracked, of course. But I'm going to get another rain gauge, and I like to keep up with how much water my plants are getting. I do know that some of my things were looking kind of puny about 3 weeks ago after a lot of rain. And so I went around and I fertilized everything in the garden right before a rain. And since then, my garden has doubled, tripled, quadrupled in size. It's just amazing what a little Espoma fertilizer will do for you. And the plants, they just love it. It's OMRI listed for organic growing, and I wouldn't use anything else. Thanks, y'all, for coming along and staying with me this long in this video. I really appreciate it. And we are... I'm trying really hard to get back on track. And my phone keeps stopping in the middle of a video because I am at max capacity for gigabytes. I need to spend some time learning how to move my videos to my computer to edit on my computer. And I know it's not that hard, but I have no clue. So bear with me while I'm trying to get videos up and trying to be more consistent, because that is my goal. And right now it's not been consistent. And I apologize for that. I don't know if you can see my beautiful cabbage blooming behind me, and then my green stalks over here. We've got every pocket filled on the green stalk now, so that is so exciting. I appreciate y'all. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.